Okay, so good evening to you guys. I hope you're all doing well. So sorry for what happened today. Unfortunately, due to technical challenges, we weren't able to have an effective and practical class. I wasn't really expecting that, but I think the environment wasn't really conducive. So to get started, d- to benefit those that wasn't around, I would like to briefly talk about what we started and we jump into the practical that we put in for me. So basically, we talked about how the internet works. We spoke about web and talked about HTML, and we said that the web is basically an interconnection of what web pages that actually sits on the server and it's very accessible through the internet. So anything that you access through the internet, you do that via the web. Okay. And we talk about HTML, whereby HTML is the hypertext markup language. So HTML define the structure of what of a website. HTML determine whether this website is a heading, this website is a body, this website is a section. Okay, and know that every website have pages. So for instance, let's go to this. Let me turn on to dark mode. So let me refresh this my portfolio website. So this is a website of more than one pages. Exploding. So this is a website of more than one pages. It have a home page, an about page, a service page, a project, and so on. Okay, so a page helps you to move from different pages. So if I'm in the home page and I want to go to the about page, I just click on the about and it takes me to the about page. Same way, the home page contains every page on a website consists of sections. Okay, you have various sections. So on a home page, depending on any section that you want, when you come down, you see that you have about section, you have technical stack section, you have featured project section, we have you have maybe more like a testimonial section here. Then lastly, maybe get in touch with section, that is an action button. And on the last button of your website, you have a footer. Okay, so basically that is what every page contains. So every page contains sections. Okay, when I come to this my services section, you see that it contains it have sorry my services page. It have my services what section here. When I go down, you see my process section and so forth and so on. So basically, that is what we are going to build using HTML CSS. Sorry, using HTML. But before, let's talk about how the internet works. So the internet works for what goes on behind the server that you don't know. The question is, the internet deals with something called a request and a response. Okay, every request that you do is based on a user, and every response that you get is based on what a server. Meaning, a server is something that contains every information on the internet. So this is how the internet works. The internet works or connects with only four things, and that is the client. So the client basically is you, the user, or the device that you are using. The device that you are using is the client. Going forward, we have the route. The route is the endpoint that directs your request, that sends your request to the server. Then lastly, we have the third, we have the server. So this server here basically is where our database sits. So the brain bank. So let's call it the brain bank, where everything on the internet sits. But the reason why we have routes here is that you, the user here, cannot directly come and get an information here. You need to go through a route. So what you need to do is that you, the user, you need to make a what? You need to make a request. Okay, request for something. So so you need to make a request. Okay, then this particular route takes takes um the request. Okay, sorry, takes the request. Then it goes into the server to find the request. So after finding the request, and if your request exists in the database, this same server will return the request. This same server here will do what? Return the what? Return the request, and it will return the request to the route here. So receives, this route here receives the request and send it to what? The client. So final what? Endpoint. So if you send a request to the route and the route tell the server that, hey, this guy is looking for this, and luckily or surprisingly what you're looking for doesn't exist, it will return to the route and tell that, hey, go and tell the user that this particular thing doesn't what exist. And we do all these things with the help of one thing called the ISP. So all these things is powered by what? An ISP. That is the what? Internet what? Internet service what? Provider. Okay. So the internet service provider is what connects this to this and this to this, and together you call them what? The internet. Okay. So without this ISP, the internet service provider, whenever you make a request, it will actually go through, but it will only get to the server, sorry, the route. And when it get to the route cannot proceed and give it to the server to check whether your request really what exists. And we are going to get maybe no internet connectivity because this route is going to check your node and check whether you have a connection. If you don't have a connection, then it throws an error that, hey, you need to what? Connect to the internet briefly. So that's it. Now let's jump into the practical aspect. So what we are going to do is very simple. We are going to use VS Code. So if you don't have VS Code, I would encourage everyone to download VS Code on the PC. So this one is a VS Code. So you open a web browser and you type in what? VS Code. So when you type in VS Code, the first link that comes, tap on that particular website and it take you to VS Code what? Website. If you are on Mac, you don't need to download Windows. You need to choose what? Mac and what? Download. If you are on Windows, you need to go ahead and what? Download it. If you are using Linux, you need to choose what? Linux and what? Download it. But you are on Mac, so you just tap on download, then it download. After it's download, you need to go to your downloads, then open it, then what? Install it locally on your what? On your PC. For instance, I have it already on my PC, so let's go back. So this is my what? My VS Code that I have it already. So here, this is the VS Code what interface, user friendly. That is where we use to what? Write fast. On my left panel, you can see that we have a folder here, Explorer here. This is where we keep or we organize our files and what? Folders. Okay. You can choose to move it to the left side, but preferably it should be on the what? Sorry, you can choose to move it to the right side, but preferably it should be on the what? On the left side. Great. So what we are going to do for now is that here we are going to create a personal bio. Okay, a personal bio. And the personal bio that we are going to have is going to have two pages. Okay, and the two pages is going to have a home page, and what? An about, and home page and an about page. Good. So the home page is going to contain everything. Okay, and the about page is just going to contain only information about you, so that when someone visits your website or your portfolio website and the person wants to read more about you, the person can tap on the about and it will tell the person to go and read more information about you. You just don't want to keep everything about you on one page. No, it will make it what's lengthy and what boring. You summarize something about you, then you create a different page and you include it inside your home page, so that when somebody is reading your website or reading your portfolio, the person can tap on a new page and go and read everything about you on a fresh page. I hope you are following. Now let's create, our first step is to create the folders. Okay, so the folder we are going to create, this is the folder. We already have the folder, but if you want to create a new folder, you go to file. When you go to file, you can see that we have new file here. Okay, whatsoever it is, you tap on the new file, then you create. But preferably don't do that. Come here, you see that we have folder here. So let me delete all this and create them again. Let me delete all this, create them again, delete all this and create them again. So delete. Good. Let's leave our to-do list. So This is our folder, okay, skill development. And inside the folder, we need to get two files. So one file will be what? The index.html. The reason why it is index.html is because we are come to deal with what? HTML. Okay, we are dealing with HTML. That is the hypertext makeup what language. Then the other file should contain your about page. So that one to be about.html. Then lastly, let's have a file that we are going to add the image. Even that one you can hold on for now. When you are adding the image, then we create it. Good. So where we are going to start is the index. So let me go back to the to-do list. So we are done creating the project directory. Let me delete the first step. The second step is that we should add a doc type file inside the HTML. So what this means is that it's very simple. This means that we should just first initialize HTML. We should tell our code that, hey, we are coming to write an HTML file. And how we need to do is very simple. We need to go to the index.html because this is our home. Okay, this is our home file. So before you can generate or initiate HTML, you need to press Shift then 1 to initiate this particular symbol. So when this comes, you just press Enter. So as I pressed enter, you can see that a code has been generated for me. Okay, meaning we are dealing with a document type of HTML. So let me go back and do it again. You just press Shift and 1. You press enter, and it's telling me that, hey, this is a document type, and this document type is HTML. Okay, good. And it's also telling me that, hey, the language you are going to use is English. So you can see that I specify that English. I can decide to change this to make it Chinese or any language that I prefer. But like on default is it is English. So let's use English. Good. Let's focus here, from here to here, the head. So the head is a tab, but this tab from this one upwards, it doesn't matter. Anything you write here doesn't matter. You don't see it on the code or you can't run it, okay? But anything that you write in between the body is what matters. So all our websites, our images, everything that we do will go inside this body here. So what we can change here is just that we change it to my personal bio. Good. Now let's focus on the on the body. And on the body, we are going to use something called a semantics, meaning we are going to divide body into sections, okay, and headings. Let me take you back to my personal portfolio. So when I come here, when I go to the home, this one is a home tag. So let's take this one as the index. Okay, good. And this one is heading. Okay, this one is the heading. The product border is the heading. Okay, because that is the text that is bigger, and that's what stands out. So this one is a heading. When you come down, all these text here, okay, they are a section, and the section are the main. So from here, from the about to the last last section here, they are all in the main. And main body contains sections. Okay, you can add images and everything that you can see in there. Let's go back to our code editor. So here in the body, you have a header section. You have a header section. Okay, so this is the header. You have a main tag. This is our main. Then we will have a footer. This is our footer. So you could see that. Let me redo it again. Since I'm going fast. So we have the header. Okay, and I'll close it. See that when I close it, automatically it brings a closing tag. So the difference between these two tags is that the first one here is the opening tag, and this one here is the closing tag. What differentiates them is the line here. Okay, it's the slash line here. Okay, the slash line here means that, hey, anything that we put in here, we've closed it. Okay, meaning anything that we put after this is not regarded as a header. Okay, so even if you want to add something as a header, it needs to be within this line. We open this, then we put it inside. Anything that we write after it is not regarded as a header. Great. Now let me clear it. after the header, we need to have a main. We need to have a main tag too. So the main tag is similarly like the words, the header. Anything that we write here is regarded as only main. Okay, good. And when I write something here, it doesn't treat it as a main because I've already closed the main words tag, or let's say I've closed the main words door. That's it. Then lastly, we need to have a footer. Okay, a footer. Then I've closed it. So the footer to say anything that I write here is within the footer. That is correct. But when I write anything or type anything here, meaning it is wrong, it is not going to regard this as a what? As a footer. Awesome. So let's go back to our image that we were using. So you could see that this image here, it have a header, it have a main, and it have a footer. Okay, so that is what we've actually done here. Sorry, that is what I've actually done here. We have the what? The header, we have the main, we have the main, and what? We have the what? The footer. We've not added any content in them yet. We are now coming to take them one by one. So now let's start with the what? With the header. So the header, what we need inside the header is a name and two tags and two pages, the home and the what? About. Okay. So inside that particular header tag that we open, you need to do two things in there. You need to have a name, that is your name, then a tab when someone wants to go and read more about you. It's not necessary that you can only have two pages. No, you can have as many pages as you want. Maybe you can add a testimonial page, you can add a blogging page, you can add anything. Okay, but for now, let's focus on adding the home page and the what about page to the what to the header. So the header is the first thing that appears on top of your portfolio. Okay, the first thing. So let's go back to our Visual Studio Code. Let's go to the to do. So now that we are done with this point, we need to build the header. As I said, we need to build the header. So let's go back to the what? Index file. When you go back to the index file, this is where we are coming to build the what? The header. Okay, this is where we are coming to build the header. So in the header, let's add our name. Okay, let's add our name. But before we add our name, we should make sure that the heading that we are using, okay, is bigger than any of the headings. So we need to use H1. So we use that. We call H1. Everything should be in small letters. You can't use capital letters when coding. So we press H1, then tab. Okay. So you can see that I have H1 here. The H1 means that, hey, this is my first heading. So treat my first heading as the capital word on the what on the page. So anything that comes in here will have the what header one word style or header one word style. So let me use what Rahmat. Okay, Rahmatu. Maybe Rahmatu Al Hassan. Okay, Al Hassan. Okay, good. So Rahmatu Al Hassan is what? Is our head. Now let's run our code to see whether we will see Rahmatu Hassan. If you want to run your code, what you need to do is that you check below the code editor. We have something called the go live. If you don't have it there, no problem. Come here, look for this particular button here. It is called extension. Okay, this extension helps you to download things inside what VS Code. So open the extension and search for live. Okay, search for live what server. I've already downloaded it. So when you open the live server, then you download, you go to install. Whenever after you install it, you see it down here. So basically that is how it is. Then let's go back to our what? Our index.html file. So we are in the what? Still in the what? Index.html file here. Good. What we are going to do is that we are going to run the code to see how the Rahmat to Al Hassan came. So let's go to the go live. It will start. Then you can see that we have Rahmat to Al Hassan nicely. Okay, good. Now let me get a two-sided screen so that you can follow along. Good. So you can see that this our heading one has come. So we are having Rahmat to Al Hassan. You can see that earlier when I said that anything that we write above this head here will be regarded as what? Let's say not appear on our website. That is the reason why the word or the text personal my personal bio didn't showed up here. What showed up here is everything within the what? The body tag here. Okay, good. Now that we are done with the header, the next thing that we need to do is to add two pages so that you can tap here to go to home page, you can tap here to go to the what? An about page. So let's add it. That one too, since you will be navigating through like you'll be navigating through one page to the other. What you need to do is that you need to come down and open a tag. Sorry. Okay, you need to come down and open a tag. Okay, the tag that you open, it is called nav. Okay, sorry, small letters. It's called the nav tag. So the nav tag is going to help you to navigate through what pages. So this is our nav what tag here. So you see that it has the opening and the what the closing. Okay, it have an opening and a closing. So here we are coming to do what? Add a page or add a link to the what to the website. Okay, so what we do is that you add another tab called anchor. So anchor is something that whenever you want to reference a link into your website, you call the word anchor and say, hey anchor, I want to reference this page on this particular word page. So do it for me. So you can see that automatically when I press shift plus A, when I do shift plus A, then I need to do href. Okay. So this href means that hey, reference equals to, and we are going to link this home page and the about page. Reference the what? The home, sorry, the index.html here. Okay. Then I'll close it. Then I'll say this one is the what? Sorry. This one is the what? Home page. I'll do it the what? Home page. Good. I'm done. So once I'm done, you could see that it has come here, whereby when I click on it, it refreshes because I'm still in the home page. When I refresh, it takes me so to the home page. Okay. Now let's add an about page. So I'll still do what I did. Open this one, call my anchor, and I said, hey anchor, I want to reference my about what page, my about page on the what the home page, so that I can easily move from the home page and go straight to the what about page. So when I'm done, I'll close it and do it about page nicely. This one is not needed. Okay, so now we have a home page and you have what? An about page. Look at what happens when I tap on the about page. When I tap here, you see that it takes me through to a new blank word page here. Good. Meaning we've successfully linked our what about HTML here. The reason why this place is blank is that when I open this file, there is nothing here. We've not added anything in the what about what page. Okay, we've not added anything in here. So it will treat it as what empty. But in the index, let me go back. When I go back, when you see here, you see we have the index.html. So anything here is inside the what index what file. That is why this file is named index.html. So whatever that we are doing here, we are what seeing it what here. Good. Now what is next is that let's go to the what the main section and add content. We are going to add content to the what to the main section. So this is still we are still on the index, okay, but here we were inside the header. Now we are done with the what the header. Whatever we want to do with the header, we are done. Okay, good. Now we are going to the main thing, main body. We are going to write more about what the website is actually representing, what the website actually what does. Good. So we've already made our like semantic here. That is the what the main. Good. If I want to do anything main, I can't come and do it here. I can't come and do it here. But instead, I need to ensure that I am below the main. I am between here. Okay, here. Here is where I can do anything what main. Okay, good. But inside the main, when I go back to reference our image, you could see that this is the main content. Okay, the green or background color is the main. So from the green up to here are the main. So in the main, we have two sections. One section or the first section is the about me. That briefly gives information about you. Let's say what you are doing, just a brief with a picture. Okay. And the next section inside that same main content also talks about your what? Your journey. Okay. And also talks about your what? Your skills. Your journey, maybe how you started, where you are, the challenges that you face, and the skills too is, let's say, what you can do, what you are able to do, and so on. So we are going to do all this inside the main. Now that we are done with the header, we are not touching it. We are now focusing on the what? On the main. So when we go back to the main, when you go back to the main, here, here, between between this and this, that is where we are going to what? Write our what? Our main code. But we are going to group them into sections, two sections. So that we are going to write section, sorry, it's in caps. So section, then we close it. Then so now we are having what? Let me off my, I think my data is distracting. So now we have the what? A section here. Okay. This section, this is our what? First what? Section. And inside our first section, we need to add a header. Okay. And name it what? About me. Because our first section is what? About me. Okay. So let's go back to our code editor. Then open our tag. What do we want to target? What do we want to reference? We said we want heading. So heading, we need to use what? H. So H. But this heading, we don't want it to be like heading 1. Okay, because when we make it heading 1, it will have the same size of the Ramatu Al Hassan. Okay, but no, we want the heading to be different, to be unique. So we need to use heading 2. So that one will be smaller than the what? The bigger one. So we close the what? The heading. When we are done, then we add about me, like how it was done, about me. Okay, good. So you can see that the size of this about me is different from this what? Rahmat what? Al Hassan. Okay, good. So this is what? About me. Then we are not done. We are done with about me, but at least we need to get something about Rahmat. Okay. So what is it about Rahmat that we need to write? We need to calm down. Before we write anything here, we need to use the paragraph what? Tag. And the paragraph tag is what? Is P. So we open our tag, then we input what? P. Then we close our tag. Okay. Now that we've opened our tag and closed our tag, we are now going to add what? Content. So let's add it. Hey, so let's do something like welcome to my page. My page, come on. My name is maybe Rahmat, a software developer with 3 years of experience, right? Good. Then let's add another paragraph again. Let's come down and add another paragraph again. Another P. Good. You will see that automatically it gave me an open and closing what tag. Now let's add contact. So I build scalable and professional websites that resonate business needs and drives traction. Okay, good. Now that we've added something about ourselves, what we need to do is that here we want to add an image so that when somebody comes, so that, oh, so this is the picture of what? Rahmatu. Okay, because here we don't really have an image, we just have Rahmatu Al Hassan, where you can just move from the home to the what? About page, and you have the about me that talks briefly about Rahmat. So let's say when I open Rahmat's website and I read here and I want to read more about Rahmat, that is when I can tap the about here and it will take me to a fresh page and I can read more. But because we've not added anything here, so you can't see anything, we'll add the code there. So now let's go back to what? Our normal HTML with CSS or index.html. Now let's add an image. Okay, anything that you add in HTML, each tag is different. So if you are about to add image, you're not going to use P or H. If you use P, then meaning you are just adding a paragraph. If you use H, meaning this one is a heading. If you use maybe body, mean this one is something. So we are not going to use img. Okay, so this img means what? Image. We are coming to add what? An image. But before that, we don't have image here. Okay, we don't have an image here. So what we need to do is that, let me increase this and let's add an image. So let's get a new file. Okay, let me name it. Let's add a new file name. So my photo dot png. Okay, so if let's create a file, my photo. So my photo dot then let me go to create a file. Let me delete it. Yes. So new file, my photo, okay, dot png. So open dot png. Now that we've created a file here, we need to add a photo. Okay, we need to, maybe we have the photo on our PC. Okay, you need to bring in the photo onto this particular file. You can just do copy and come and paste it here. Okay, that one here we don't need to write any code. So far as we've stated that .png means, hey, this one is an image. So even when you check the icon here, meaning the file is ready to accept an image. Now let's go to Pinterest and go find a female's image. So I want a Muslim. Oh, sorry. So let me connect to the internet. Okay, so now we have a lot of Muslim ladies picture. So let me copy anyone. Let me copy this. So here I've copied it. Now let me come back to my VS Code here, then paste it. So you need to come. Okay, it's not coming. Then let me go to where we have my folder structure. Let me go to desktop, go to my skills. Oh, sorry, skill, init, delete. So you have duplicate tabs here, delete it. Then basically, let me paste it here. Let me paste photo here. Okay, let me store. Let me, I don't know whether the picture was actually copied. So you let me save it rather. Let me save image rather. Yeah, okay. Skill development. Then let me save it as my photo. My photo. And choose the peg image. Then save it nicely. So when I open VS Code, I need to see it there. So you see that I have my image here nicely. So the image that I saved came and I name it my photo dot what JPEG nicely. So right now what I want to do is that I want to add this image here. Okay, what you do is that you go into the what the index.html file and we specify, we do it something like image. Okay, once you do the image, then you do src, meaning source. The meaning of this src is that first you've opened this your tag, telling HTML that, hey, I want to add an image, okay, and HTML is asking you that, where is your image located, okay, meaning the source. Then you tell the code that, hey, my image is located at this particular place. So you type in the file name of your image. So when I open this photo, you see that I've named the file my photo dot what jp what gin. Okay, great. So I'll come to the index.html file and say that, hey, my photo is in my photo. You see that it has even come my photo dot what jpg. Okay, now my photo has appeared here, but what I want is that I want to resize it. So to see that I've resized it smallly, I'll show you how I did it. So let me take it step by step. Now that let me remove this. Good. I've added my what? My image. Okay. But here I need to tell the HTML file that, hey, this is what? This is my personal what? My personal photo. So what I'll do is that I will say, hot, please watch this line, and we are still on this line. The Let me make it a bit bigger, small. Okay, so we are still on the line 24. Okay, line 24. Okay, so what you need to do is that you can see that I said image src, then I included or added my image here. Okay, the difference between the image and the ha is that href is that whenever you are using href, that one you are adding a link, but whenever you use image src, that one you are only adding an image. Okay, so after adding your image, you need to state that this is my photo. When you are done, you need to add the width size. Okay, that is why the image is small. So whenever, should in case I remove this and I remove the height too, you can see that the image will be bigger. Okay, the image will be bigger. So I need to tell the image that, hey, I want my width to be like 200. Okay, 200, and I want my height to also be what, 200. Okay, great. That one, it has reduced the width and also reduce the what, the height, making it what, nicely what, positioned. Okay, so here we have about me, we have something about what, Rahmatu, and Rahmatu's what, profile what, picture. Okay, good. What is next is that, let me open our image. This is what we've done so far. We've added image, we've added something brief about what, Rahmatu. Now let's add another section of what, my journey. It talks about Rahmat what, journey on that same what, page. So let's go back to the what, to this our code base here. This is our what, first section. This is our first section. Let me close this. This is our first section, and the first section is what, our about. Now we need to create a different section, and that section we will come down here. Although we are still in the main, we will come down here and do section. And this time around, this section is just going to be what, our journey, Rahma to what, journey. So we will name it, we will come down and do h2, same way like how we did the about. H2, close it, then we write what, inside here, that what, my journey. Okay, good. So you could see that we have my journey here. Now Ramat coming to talk about what, her journey into what, software, as a what, software what, developer. So my journey as a software developer. Good. The way we added this test under the about section, we are going to basically do the same thing. Okay, we are going to basically do the same thing for that. So all you need to do is that you come down here, then you are going to open a paragraph what, tag. Anytime you want to write something, you do with a what, paragraph tag. So let me open the paragraph tag p. Automatically it gives the what, the closing what, tag. Now let's add content what, here. Okay, so I started my journey as a volunteer for GDIW, that is GDIW, that is the Ghana Digital and Innovation Week. Okay, then let's add another paragraph below. Then let's come down again, add another P, close it. Good. So then we add our content where I gain hands-on experience building digital solutions that solves what that solves real that solves real problem. Okay, great. Now we've added something about our journey. Okay, let's add more. So let me add one more paragraph to it. So P. So this one too, it says that I have also worked on several projects, including e-commerce website and social media what platforms. That is it. So we are done with the what about what section. Now, if someone comes to your website, you tell the person your journey, you're about. Now what does you do? Okay, what do you work on as a software engineer? Do you build website? Do you build mobile apps? What do you build? Okay, so we need to add a what my skill what section. So the my skill section, please kindly pay attention here. This my skill section, you are going to have a list of things that you can do. That is your skills, things that you are capable of doing, the things that makes you the software what engineer. Now we have first section here. Okay, that is this one. That is here, our first section. And we have another section, my journey. That is also what this section. Now we need to add the my score section as well. Great. So that one you need to also come down and get a section tag. Okay, we get a section tag, and the section tag to that one too. We need to have a closing what tag for it. So let's come down. You see that we have section, then we have a closing what section. So this is our opening gate, and this is our what our exit, our closing what gate. So inside the room, let's add our content, what we want to add. But before we add our section what header, it should be what h2. So let's header h2. Then what my what skills. Okay, or let's do it what I do. Okay, what you do. Great, we are done. So you could see that we have what I do. Okay, good. Now we are coming to list what Rahmat do. Whether Rahmat only build websites or she has mobile application, USSD, AI, or whatsoever it is. Since we are going to list them, in listing of things in HTML, we use something called the word UL, okay, or what OL. Good. In using UL, meaning unordered list. So whenever you this UL means unordered list. So in coding or in software development, whenever you want to list something and the thing is in order, so let's say the thing you want to number it, that one you don't use UL because UL stands for what? Unordered element. So you could read that the UL element represents a list of items where the order of the item is not what's important. That is, even when you change the order mathematically, you don't change the meaning of the word, the document. Okay, so whenever you use the UL here, our list is going to be bulleted, but it's not going to be what to be numbered. So now let's add the list here and see something. So I'll do li small, close it. Okay, then say that I do web, Rackman do web what development. Okay, let's add another list. Li, close it. She does mobile app development. Okay, then development. Then lastly, Rahmat also does, let's say, UI UX design. UI UX what design. Okay, so when I scroll down, you can see that here it is on ordered what list because it is bulleted. Okay, so even when I bring mobile app at the top, it doesn't matter, the order doesn't really matter. But here is the case that no, Rahman wants to make it number, like Rahman wants to arrange it based on the one that she can do best. Okay, so let's say Rahman is good in web, after web he is good in mobile before she comes to what UI designer, so that you know that okay, Rahmat is better in web than what mobile, and is better than mobile to what UI. So now we are going to use what the ordered what listing. So the ordered listing, we are just going to change the U to O. Okay, so the O, this one is the object element can represent an external resources, which depending on the type resources. So meaning this one means that whenever you add orders, it change this automatically to numbering. So when I come here, you see that now it is in what numbering format, that is 1, 2, and what 3, meaning our what we do has been what numbered what successfully. But if I want to use just bulletin, I just go my way, I'll just continue to use the word the U. But here is the case, let's maintain the word the O and make it what ordered for what clarity sake. Great. Let's reference our image. Now that we are done with the main, we see that now we have our about, we have our journey, we have our skills. That is the what we do. But here, the person use what unordered list, the UL. That is why it is bulleted. Okay. Now let's work on the footer. The footer is just going to take only one tag, that's the paragraph tag with small what sentence. So let's go back to our code editor. We open our code editor. We've already opened our semantic here footer. So we go into the house of what footer, the footer room. Let's go into the footer room and what get like maybe style the room. So let's open our footer. What we need is a copyright. So we open our p tag, then we do copyright slash. So we do copyright at copy 2024 Rahmat Al Hassan, all right received, so that we know that this website only belongs to what Rahmat. When someone goes and present this one that it belongs to her, the person can be arrested because the person is copying or infringing the rights of what Rahmatu. Great. Now that we are done, now we are done with the home page. What is left is the what the about page. So should in case that Emmanuel is an HR and Emmanuel is maybe reviewing applications and he comes across Rahmat's portfolio website and he sees that, oh good, I think Rahmat have some good journey and experience. Okay, let me go and read more about Rahmat. That is where the HR will come and tap on the what about page. Okay, you see that when I hover on the about page, it shows like a hand, meaning that this particular thing is clickable. But when I come here and hover on this one, it doesn't show anything. Okay, that is the power of the href here, the link here. Okay, meaning this particular thing is responsive. Whenever we tap on this, it's going to respond, and great, it's also responding. Now let's go back. The reason why we are seeing empty in the about page is because there is nothing here. Okay, now let's add about thing to the about page. So let me go to the about page since it's blank. First is raw. I said that whenever you are coming to add or start a fresh word or HTML file, you press shift then 1. When you press shift then 1, it's opening, then you just press enter. Automatically gives you the what the structure of the word HTML. After giving you the structure, this top here is not necessary. We don't need them. It's just telling us that this one is HTML. The language we are using to write is what English. Where we are going to work is here. Okay, good. But let's change this document to what about page. Great. Now let's come to the body. What we need is a header. Okay. So what we are going to do is that simple h1. Okay, and the h1 is going to have, let's say we are not going to do it about, we are going to do it my story. Okay, my story. Okay, great. My story as a software developer. So let's refresh it to see. Good. You can see that now we have my story as a what software developer. Now let's add a story, an inspiring story that shows that yes, Rahmat is a what a software what developer. What you are going to do is that basically let's add a paragraph text. I said anytime you want to add a text, you open the P. So the P, you are going to use it a lot because anything text you do P. So let's open the P, then let's write. Let me accept all these things. So he says that you can see that I've opened a P, I've added a content here. And he says that I started my journey as a volunteer for GDRW, that is Ghana Digital Innovation Week. where I gain hands-on experience building digital solutions. Let's add more. So let's say you want more because this one is a fresh page. So let's add more. Let's add more. So I'm adding more. I'm just pressing tab to add more. So here I've added another line that says I have also worked on several projects including e-commerce whatsoever. Okay, then let me add another one. I build scalable and professional website that resonate business needs. Okay, so let's add maybe an education background. So I hold a degree in marketing and finance, but but out of curiosity, out of curiosity, I pursued IT as a self-taught developer where I combined academics with my upskilling. Great. Now we have enough. We've added more. Okay. But the thing is, here is the case that I am inside the about page and I want to go back to the home page. You see that I find it difficult to go back to the home page because there is nothing here that I'll tap in it to take me back to the home page. Like how when we were in the home page here, if I want to read more about Rahmat, I can easily tap here and it will take me to the what? To the about page where I can read more to Rahmat. So let's also add a link that when we tap here, it will take us back to the home page after reading what or whatever that you wanted to know. So under the heading here, we are going to do nav bar like the way we did. Okay, you close it, then you open it, and inside this nav bar here, we are only going to add the home page. So you do a or href, then the href will specify, hey, what do you want? What can I do for you? Then you say, hey, I want to add. Don't worry about the error you are seeing. I'll fix that. You say, hey, I want to add a home page so that I can easily go back home when I'm in the about page. So you can add index.html. Then we close it. Okay. So after closing it, we talk, hey, this is the home what home page. Then we bring our closing tag. Now we are done. So when I tap here, it will take me to the home page. So let's say whenever I refresh I open this website and I read more about Rahmat. I say, okay, Rahmat is having a solid portfolio and I'm inspired. Let me go and read more about her. I tap on the about. Oh, nice. I read more about Rahmat. I can easily also go back here and go back to the home page. So basically, this is a two-pager website for a bio. Okay, a simple bio portfolio. Listen what you can do, your journey, and what a little info or a little about you. Okay, so briefly today, this is whatever that we wanted to do. We wanted to build one pager website about ourselves. Okay, so in case you want to view it in a mobile form, you go to, let's say this one you are viewing it in a web form and you want to view it in a mobile form. You right click on it, a pop-up opens, you go to inspect. Then when you go to inspect, you tap, you see here, when you go to inspect, it's still in a web view, but you tap here and it goes to a mobile view. Then you can choose maybe the mobile phone that you want to view. So let's say, let me choose iPhone 14 Pro Max. I open it. So this is how the page will look on mobile view, or the website will look on mobile view. When I open this is my about page nicely. I can go back and this is my home page nicely. I hope you are following and you are practicing along as well. You can pause anywhere in this video, come back, adjust it as you want, and you practice along nicely. All you need to do is that you need to have an index file that is your mother page containing everything, and you need to have an about page that will link it to the home page. Thank you for your time once again. This is a very quick one and sorry for what happened today as well. Going forward, we are looking to address all these issues and ensure an effective and a smooth class for each and everyone. I don't want it to be in a such a way that you come and it will be of no value to it. At least, even if you don't have passion for software development, this is going to enlighten you, embrace you in certain things so that you can know more into the space of what IT. IT is advancing, technology is growing, and when technology is growing, I encourage each and everyone to adapt to technology. Back then, there was no job like content creating, software engineer, data analytics, digital marketer, whatsoever. But now they are the job dominating. So I will encourage each and everyone here to practice along. Even if you don't have a laptop, you following along, trying to do something is a good max. Whenever you have a feel or hands on a laptop, you give it a try. That brings us to the end of the class. Thank you and hoping to see you in the next one tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.